solve the problems in the world. We would like to think that we could do that. But guess what? You can't. But you can do something much better. You can't solve the problems of the world from within the dream of the world. Because this is not a real place. This is nothing more than a construct of your imagination to justify a decision that you made that was impossible. And that decision was to be separated from that which could never be separated from. So this is not a real place. So you're not going to be able to solve the problem from within the problem. But what you can do is awaken from the problem and thus become the example of what an awakened consciousness can accomplish. Because the last thing that an awakened one does is say, look at me. Look how awakened I am. No, what they do is they look at you and say, look how awakened you are. If anyone says, look at me, I'm the master, I'm the Holy One, run. But if they're looking at you and everyone else and seeing that light reflected in you, then know that that's the true test, because an awakened master is just someone who sees everyone else as awakened, who sees only that, because there's nothing else to see. It's so simple. So this world that we seem to be trying to change never needed to be changed. It needed to be lifted. It needed to be lifted into the light. It's like, being from Portland, I know what it's like to be in a city that's always beneath the clouds, especially in the winter. Always the clouds. Whether it's raining or not, there's always the clouds. The clouds of, there's a classic spiritual book that many of you may have heard of called The Cloud of Unknowing. Yeah. One of the great spiritual classics. As if there's always this bank of cloud that separates us from unlimited consciousness. And what we're called to do is to lift above that, to penetrate that cloud. And that's what we do. And when we do that, then the world is lifted with us, because that whole world is within you. And our only job right now is to pretend that that's true. To feel it in advance. This is the language that your soul understands. It doesn't understand this is going to happen one day, or after I do X, Y, and Z, then I will be this. That's the greatest ego trick in the world. The soul understands the language of right now. I'm doing this right now. And even if I'm not really feeling it, I'm going to pretend my way into it. Or as they say in the 12-step program, fake it till you make it. But we think that pretending something is a childish game. It's not childish, it's childlike. It's innocent, it's pure, but it's the most powerful tool we have to feel in advance that which we want to be and achieve. So that's what I'm calling forth for all of us today, is to feel that you are already there. Feel that you are already the master. Feel that you are already enlightened. Guess what? You are. So you're feeling something that's true. And as we said before, when you feel something that's true in advance, the experience is immediate. This is the law. It cannot happen any other way. Because beyond this world, there is a world that I really want. As long as you're looking for it here, you're not going to find it. But if you allow it to claim you, then you'll realize it was already there. So we're going to end with one more song, one more prayer from A Course in Miracles, that I think does lift us, that does pick us up and lift us into that experience. And it is all about the experience. It's not just about listening to someone talk or talking ourselves, but when you're in the experience, there's nothing left to say. So beyond this world, there is a world that I want. And this world is right now, right here in this moment. Be On this world, there is a world I really want. I really want to be on this world. There is a world that I want. Be on this world. There is a world I really want. I really want to be on this world. There is a world that I want. Is it really a loss to find a world where losing is impossible? To find all things you really want, and to know they have no ending. To know they have no ending. To know there is no end. Be on this world. There is a world I really want. I really want to be on this world. There is a world that I want. Now is the last step certain. Now we stand an instant away. A single step from timelessness. From here you can but look forward. 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 For me, on this world, there is a world that I really want. I really want to be on this world. There is a world that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world that I really want. I like that word really. I really want it. We have to give ourselves to this completely without holding back. This is a 100% deal or nothing at all. That's the miracle of 100%. I remember when I decided to take on that first year of putting all the lessons of the Course to music, I wondered how I could do such a thing. That's hundreds and hundreds of hours of work. But I was 100%. When you're 100%, the miracle happens. So let's welcome the miracle of right now, the miracle of who you are and who you've always been and who you can't stop being. And if you give 100% to that and then choose to see it everywhere else, because that's the key, it's not just for you. Like we said yesterday, this has to be for the benefit of others. Otherwise, the ego claims it and wraps its claws around it. And do you remember? Sometimes you've seen movies where there'll be a carnival and there'll be a hot air balloon, and they used to take people up in the hot air balloon, but it was tethered down. And if people would get in it, they'd go up about 100 feet. But if it couldn't go further, then they'd bring them back down. You ever seen that before? Well, that's what the ego is. The ego are those tethers that hold you down. It gives you the illusion of going somewhere. But guess what? You're not going anywhere, really. It's only when those ropes have been untied that you can fly. And this is the time for us to fly. No matter what seems to be happening out there, no matter who seems to be running the government, no matter what seems to be happening in the world, no matter what is happening, and you are there now. So say thank you, say yes, and that's it. Thank you.
That was beautiful, thank you. Boy, you know what to do, so time to say yes. At this time, we will bless our offerings, and if you take a moment and hold your gift to your heart and give thanks for our center and this beautiful experience we shared here today. We ask that these gifts come from our heart, be used for the highest and holiest of purposes, so that collectively we may awaken from the dream into reality. We place our future in the hands of God and know that all is in perfect and divine order, and so it is. Amen. So if, James, thank you so much, really. That was beautiful. I'm not just saying this, okay? I've been to a zillion conferences, speakers, but this weekend I feel different. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do. I'm just so grateful for everybody. And make sure if you want, you can stay after and enjoy some of this soup. I'm sure it's delicious because I know who made it, and it's good cooks. So, and, yes, sir.
I just want to say that I do have the movie. We did a movie for the 50th anniversary of A Course in Miracles. It's called A Chorus in Miracles, and some of the coolest people in the world are in it. I'm actually on my way. We were just talking about this before. I go to Nashville next. A dear friend of mine, his name is Victor Wooten. And Victor Wooten is considered to be one of the great musicians of our time. Considered to be the greatest bass player in the world. Course in Miracles student. He and all of his brothers, they're in the film. It was such a pleasure making the movie for the 50th anniversary. And then we also have a CD that has about 75 of those songs. Actually 6 CDs. 75 of those original songs. I think everyone that I sang here today is in this. So most of them were sold yesterday, but we have a few more copies. So they're over here.
Great. Okay. Well, let's join hands. We're going to be a tight circle around the room. But